In 1976, a Spanish horror film asked a question so disturbing it was banned in 4 countries. In 1973, Christopher Lee worked for free on a movie that he knew would become legendary. And in 1971, a psychological vampire film made audiences question their own sanity. I'm Wayne, and today we're diving into 7 1970s horror films that are absolute masterpieces that nobody talks about. These aren't your typical hidden gems. These are films that influenced everything from The Shining to Midsommar, but somehow were buried by time. Let's get into it. Film number 1, Let's Scare Jessica to Death. A psychological vampire horror film that makes you question what's real and what's in Jessica's head. Jessica is released from a mental institution and moves to a Connecticut farmhouse with her husband and friend. They discover a mysterious drifter named Emily living there, who may or may not be a 19th century vampire. But here's what makes this brilliant. You never know if Emily is actually supernatural or if Jessica's having a psychotic break. The film keeps you guessing until the ambiguous ending. Why it's buried? Too slow burn for 70s audiences who wanted Dracula-style vampire action. This is atmospheric dread, not jump scares. And here's the kicker. It's based on Carmilla, the 1872 novella that predates Dracula by 25 years. This is feminist horror before that was even a category. If you love The Witch or Hereditary's slow burn psychological terror, this is required viewing. You can stream this on Tubi for free or rent it on Amazon Prime Video and Apple TV. Physical media collectors, it's available on Blu-ray from Scream Factory. And wait until you hear what Christopher Lee did for film number 2. It's insane. Film number 2, The Wicker Man. The Wicker Man is the folk horror masterpiece that influenced Midsommar, The Witch, and literally every pagan cult film you've ever seen. Christopher Lee, yes, Count Dooku himself, stars as Lord Summeristle, leader of a pagan community on a remote Scottish island. A devout Christian police officer, Sergeant Howie, arrives to investigate a missing girl. And let me tell you, this ending is iconic. I won't spoil it, but it involves a giant wicker effigy and the most haunting folk music you'll ever hear. Here's the insane part. Christopher Lee took no salary for this film because he believed in it that much. He called it the best film he ever made. Why it's legendary? The original cut was 102 minutes. The studio hated it, cut 15 minutes, and literally buried the footage. Those scenes are lost forever. This is required viewing for any horror fan, period. Stream it on Peacock, rent on Amazon Prime Video, or Apple TV. The final cut restoration is available on Blu-ray from Studio Canal. That's the version you want. Film number 3, Messiah of Evil. The Lovecraftian cosmic horror film that Quentin Tarantino calls the most underrated horror movie ever made. A woman travels to a creepy California beach town to find her missing artist father. She discovers the town is preparing for the Blood Moon, a ritual where citizens transform into undead creatures. This supermarket scene? Absolutely chilling. A woman realizes everyone around her is dead, and they're closing in. This movie theater sequence influenced everything from Dawn of the Dead to The Crazies. Here's the wild backstory. This was written by Willard Huyck and Gloria Katz between drafts of American Graffiti. George Lucas's writing team made a cosmic horror masterpiece, then went back to making a teen comedy. Why it's buried? Poor marketing, limited theatrical release, overshadowed by The Exorcist. But horror nerds know, this is essential viewing. This one's free on Tubi and Pluto TV. You can also rent it on Amazon Prime Video. The 4K restoration is available on Blu-ray from Code Red. But film number 4 has the most disturbing premise I've ever encountered in horror. Fair warning, this one's dark. Film number 4, Who Can Kill a Child? the Spanish horror film that was banned in multiple countries for asking the most disturbing question in cinema history. An English couple vacations on a remote Spanish island only to discover that all the children have murdered every adult, and now the kids are hunting them. This opening montage shows actual documentary footage of war atrocities against children. The film is saying, we've done horrible things to kids throughout history. What if they fought back? The tension is unbearable because you're watching adults try to survive against children. The moral dilemma is the horror. Why it's banned? Child violence was absolutely taboo in the 70s. The US release was heavily censored and retitled Island of the Damned. This film inspired Children of the Corn, The Omen. Every killer kid movie you've ever seen traces back to this. Fair warning, this is dark, but it's also brilliant. Rent it on Amazon Prime Video or Apple TV. Physical media available on Blu-ray from Dark Sky Films. This is harder to find, but worth hunting down. Film number 5. The Baby. A social worker named Anne visits a family where they're keeping a grown man, we're talking full adult, as an infant. He wears diapers, sleeps in a crib, can't speak. The family is clearly abusive. Anne seems like she's trying to rescue him from this abusive situation. She's the hero, right? Wrong. The twist in this film made me physically uncomfortable. Keep watching. The twist ending reveals that Anne is just as obsessed with keeping baby infantilized. She kidnaps him to continue the cycle. This is exploitation cinema at its most disturbing. You spend 80 minutes rooting for someone who's actually a predator. Why it's controversial? This was on the UK's Video Nasties list. The psychological horror of adult infantilization made censors deeply uncomfortable. If you love films that make you feel wrong for watching them, this is it. Stream it free on Tubi or rent it on Amazon Prime Video, available on Blu-ray from Severin Films. Fair warning, this one stays with you. Film number 6, The Pix. The Canadian occult mystery that predicted the satanic panic of the 80s. Christopher Plummer, yes, Captain Von Trapp himself, plays a detective investigating the death of a prostitute named Karen. Her body is found with a pyx, a container for communion wafers, clutched in her hand. The film uses a dual timeline structure. We see the detective's investigation in the present and Karen's final days in flashback. She was involved with an elite satanic cult. Here's what's brilliant. This non-linear storytelling provided a break from the traditional, straightforward Hollywood narrative style in 1973. Why it's forgotten? Canadian film with limited US distribution. The Exorcist came out the same year and dominated all horror conversation, but this is sophisticated occult horror that treats its subject matter seriously. No camp, no cheese, just dread. This one's trickier to find. Rent it on Amazon Prime Video or Vudu. Physical media available on Blu-ray from Kino Lorber. It's worth the hunt for Christopher Plummer's performance alone. And the last film on this list? It's the most beautiful horror movie you've never seen, and it almost destroyed the director's career. Film number 7, Lemora, A Child's Tale of the Supernatural. Lemora, A Child's Tale of the Supernatural is the Prohibition-era vampire film that's equal parts beautiful and deeply disturbing. A 13-year-old church singer named Leela receives a letter from Lemora, a mysterious woman claiming to know where Leela's gangster father is hiding. Leela travels to the town of Astaroth, yes, named after the demon, and discovers a world of vampires, zombies, and dark seduction. The cinematography is gorgeous. Gothic southern atmosphere, dreamlike sequences, genuine artistry. But the dark themes involving a young protagonist made distributors incredibly nervous. This barely got released. Why it's a cult classic? This influenced Let the Right One In, Near Dark, every coming-of-age vampire story. The loss of innocence metaphor is haunting. This is art house horror that deserves way more recognition. Stream it free on Tubi and the Roku channel. Rent on Amazon Prime Video or Apple TV. Available on Blu-ray from Synopsis Films with a beautiful restoration. Real quick, drop a skull emoji if you've actually seen any of these films. I'm convinced only 12 people on Earth have seen all 7. Prove me wrong. Before we wrap, here are 3 more 70s horror films that deserve way more attention. Daughters of Darkness, 1971. Belgian lesbian vampire film that's pure gothic elegance. Stream on Shudder or Tubi. The Asphyx, 1973. British horror about capturing the spirit of death on film. Rent on Amazon Prime Video. The Legend of Hell House, 1973. Richard Matheson haunted house masterpiece. Stream on Tubi or rent on Amazon. Don't Look Now, 1973. Nicholas Rogg's grief horror with that ending. Stream on Peacock or rent on Amazon. All absolute bangers. Check them out. So there you have it. 7 1970s horror masterpieces that deserve cult status. Which one are you watching first? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more obscure horror deep dives, hit that subscribe button. I got a whole series planned covering every decade. See you in the next one.